Are at 5 o'clock here on Election Day for some states in the country. We'll get back into some of that coverage here in just a minute, too. First up, Tapco Birmingham, ready to help you with your ride, no matter what you got going on with your ride. Michael and his shop are simply the best mechanics, service techs, whatever we call them nowadays, in the business. You can build that relationship with them and get to know them by just taking them for your regular service work. I'm going to run my Jeep down there, hopefully maybe later this week or early next week, according to the schedule, get them to take a look at that thing. I'm going to be dragging it around out west pretty soon, and look forward to all my adventures and travels with that thing. And boy, they're Jeep experts down there. Michael used to race these things. It started as a performance shop with the, high-end tuning and all that. And they quickly learned, man, there's so much that need that the community has for real honest service. They just started growing and opening it up to more and more just folks like us with just regular work. You got a mystery light that comes on, you don't know what it means, freaks you out. You're thinking, oh, this is going to be expensive. Take it to somebody you trust, like Michael and his team down at Tapco. They'll shoot straight with you. They can fix your problem, get you back on the road. They want people to be safe too. And I always remember Michael saying that when I first met him. He goes, we're just not going to put a car out there on the road. If we see something that's wrong with it, we want people to be safe. And I thought that's the exact approach. Just cars are part of our lives, and you want to know that there's not some kind of hidden issue or something going on. So whether it's service work or weird noise or something driving you crazy or something that really is broken, they can help you. They've even got a courtesy shuttle that they'll run you back to work. If it's one of those little quick fixes, where you can drop it off in the morning. They'll take care of it and run you to work and back. They'll handle that for you. Tapco, T-A-P-C-O, Tapco Beham. Sometimes we say Birmingham. Sometimes we say Beham, TapcoBeham.com. All right, we'll get off the UK riots for a minute, even though there's incredible videos coming across from all the tension over there. Election day here in America, and that'll be the big story probably first thing in the morning, unless we get other breakthrough or breaking news. What will happen in terms of this mayor's race in L.A.? Again, I'm not trying to paint a picture that I think that Spencer Pratt's going to win, but he is shaking things up out there, and I love the boat rockers of the world. I like the troublemakers. I like people that challenge the system. We need more of that in this country, especially people that aren't versed in the system and trained to submit by the system like a lot of our politicians today. I hope it's get the popcorn kind of stuff. The polls close late tonight our time, and we probably won't even know results till in the morning. It's hard to read any tea leaves either in the governor's race or in the mayor's race out there, because you get these people that report Republicans are winning the early vote. Well, how does that compare to the day of voting, and what about so all these other factors? But we're watching it. If there's any news or anything that comes out of there in the next 55 or 52 minutes, we'll have that for you too. Of course, we've got other things going on. This main thing is becoming amusing too. If nothing, the entertainment, the Democrats are giving us some good entertainment with this Nazi that they literally put a Nazi up in Maine. This dude's a Nazi. I mean, he hates everybody. Got the tattoo to prove it. This is after years of them calling everybody they hate Nazis. And now they're all having to hold their nose and get behind this guy. Today, Schumer did it. I mean, you'd think they just cut bait. I mean, the likelihood of them losing the Senate race is pretty high. I mean, Susan Collins has been around for a long time. She's not wildly popular with MAGA conservatives at all. She's a Maine Republican, votes against us a lot. She's real soft. It's time for her to go. She's been there too long. But she's the nominee for the Republicans and going to be. And the Democrats are trying to sort things out. But now they're stuck with this Yahoo because their governor, Janet Mills, had to drop out because of scandal. She's pretending like she could get back in the next 7 days, which she won't, but she is still on the ballot. And they got this pervert Nazi, and today Schumer endorsed him. These people will stick with their party level no matter how bad it gets. And so they'll do it. And so watching them have to do it is just fun to me. And they're going to have to do that until this thing's decided on next week. We got a whole week of this comedy routine. And if you listen to the sort of gossip bubble coming out of that race, and I don't know these players, I don't care about Maine. One day I'd like to go see it, but If you listen to them, there's going to be even more insidious stuff coming out with the allegations that began this week of this guy being some kind of pervert troll on the internet when it comes to youth-oriented social media sites. I mean, I don't know, but there's a lot of folks that fear there's another shoe to be dropped, yet they will run from a camera if you ask them a question about it because they don't have any. I mean, if they show party disloyalty, they get in trouble with the fringe element of their party. If they show common sense or anything that makes sense in this effort, but if they support the guy and then more dirt drops, they don't want to be on that. They don't want to be on that end of it either. So anyway, good times, election day in America. 2 weeks from now, we all get to vote. Actually, I've talked about it a couple times. For the first time in a long time, I got to vote absentee. Won't be here on election day. So I'm going to be doing that to make sure I get my vote in for the primary. Rounds of polling coming out left and right. One poll in the Senate race will show Barry Moore way ahead. Then we had a poll yesterday that showed Jared Hudson way ahead. If we get anything reliable and a sequence of them, and that's not going to be easy with just 2 weeks to go, I'll let you know where some of the legit numbers are. But the back and forth continues. I gave a little treatment to that story earlier. The other story, let me get this in here at the top of the hour too. I started the show with this today. I'm so jealous of the state of Florida right now. I mean, I'm just jealous of what DeSantis is doing. We're sitting here in absolute lethargy. We're like in a rowboat and we got no oars. We're just floating. We're not sinking. We're not going to die, but we can't steer the thing and we're not moving forward. We're watching other states run circles around us. Why do I say that? Today, the Florida legislature finalized a vote to get rid of their property taxes in the state of Florida. And it's not a pure removal of the property taxes. They're going to phase in the homestead exemption and raise it to an amount that will cover most Florida homeowners. I'm pretty sure it only applies to full-time residents, and it'll take it a couple of years to kick in there. But what they have to do is get a measure that they can put before the people of Florida, and Florida would have to vote for it with a 60% approval for this to go onto a constitutional amendment. But are you kidding? You give folks the chance to get rid of their property taxes? Yeah, that's going to win. That's going to get 80% of the vote. Haven't seen any polling on it. But that's the leadership of Ron DeSantis. This dude has managed the state well. They're flush with cash. They've got people moving there from all over the country. They are about to enter into a little bit of a housing crisis. There are too many houses for sale versus buyers right now. Sort of a realignment after years of a crazy economy since COVID and what the Biden administration did to the country with all that spending. But they're going to work their way out of it. Just incredible times for that state. And to have somebody in modern times with the balls to say, you know what, we're going to get rid of the property tax. DeSantis started talking about this 2 years ago in earnest, and he had mentioned it a lot before. You just thought it was maybe one of those talking points because it feels good to say that. Dang if they didn't do it. He's got to sign it. The voters have to vote for it. I think it'll be on a referendum this fall, probably on a general election ballot. But they're going to phase out that burden, and their property taxes are a hell of a lot more than ours here in Alabama. So look at the contrast. We were just talking about the L.A. races and the dysfunction out there and the poor leadership out there. These blue states and blue cities cannot find enough tax money. I mean, you got Mamdani, who's already bait and switched the whole city, claiming they got to do this. They got to go tax this group or that group or run these businesses off because we're in a financial crisis. They just cannot restrain themselves from spending. They will not. They refuse to look at it. They make promises to the government employees for retirements and other programs that they can't afford. They come up with stupid ways to spend money on social services when cities ought to be doing the basics. They ought to be paving the potholes, picking up the trash, providing police protection, punishing criminals, doing the basics, putting out the fires. Instead, they're, they got transgender therapy sessions for people that just got here from Zimbabwe. I mean, what the hell are they doing? And so they keep coming up with ideas to spend money. And here we are watching them go broke while Florida drops its property tax. Guess where the businesses are going to wind up when they get through running what's left of New York City out of that city? A business, a corporation, any of these people, they're just not going to be strangled to death by this little wannabe sawed-off juvenile commie that's running the city right now. It's a realignment, and you're seeing it in real time. It's like the tale of two cities. It's the tale of two countries, two states at least. All right, there's plenty of headlines to get us going this hour. Let's go to Daryl on the phones. If y'all want to get in and have your say on whatever, we're a little bit loose this hour. I think we've covered all the heavy stuff. Daryl's up next. What's up, Daryl?
Hey, my friend Leland, what's going on, my friend?
Yo, man, what's going on with you?
Man, they said Steve Marshall needs to go back and get his law degree. You know?
Oh, really? Why? Who said that?
Yeah, because he's sitting there telling the Supreme Court that give him a ruling on Jefferson Davis, a racist. I mean, they sent that back to the Supreme Court. A racist a holiday for Jefferson Davis, and got two more coming that you need to read it. I wish I could send it to you. They got it bad. They don't even know when the state closed. They're asking them to send them a ruling when the state is closed, and then they did it on Jefferson Davis' birthday.
Well, did he say that, or it just happens to be Jefferson Davis's birthday?
You're supposed to look up for that, and that's what the lawyers use.
That's irrelevant. What they probably did, most likely, is ask the court for a reasonable time frame. The arguments were due yesterday. What is it, Thursday? When is it? When's the?
Yesterday. It was Monday. The day Tuesday. And what they were saying, Leo, is this here. They're trying to rush him, but they're rushing so much with Kay Ivan, and they getting mixed up with the people saying. And the lawyer's telling me that they don't even know what they're doing.
Well, I don't think they do either. I think they should have just started giving us a clean map and started over right when this Supreme Court ruling. They should have just instead of.
All right.
Both maps were race. They were wrong. One was one discriminated in favor of those districts using race, and one was harmful using race. And the easiest thing to do, the non-lazy, non-cowardly thing to do, was just redraw the whole damn state like everybody else is doing.
And start over with
yes,
you're saying. Just
exactly.
Then that's what's causing the problem right now.
No, yeah.
That's what they're saying. They messed up, and the lawyer using it. See, they racist, and now they're going to do it on his birthday. I don't know if it's going to go through. That's what they tell me.
I agree with your criticism of Marshall's office and their strategy, but I don't think their request had anything to do with Jefferson Davis's birthday. That's been on the calendar. That's just the reason we're in this place is because Ketanji Brown Jackson drug it out for 7 months and wouldn't submit her dissent on purpose to put states up against the wall. And that's why all these states are having to do these last minute changes.
Yeah, I'm saying, Leland, but it's going to be tough. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm just passing word what I hear. And like I told you, on that football in the SEC, it's not going to work. My son told me, and I got 3 of them, they wouldn't do it if they businessmen. They ain't going to hurt their family, for somebody else. They're not going to do it. I told my boy to get that cheese at an early age when they was at Pinson Elementary and Pinson High School.
After you called me the other day, Daryl, after you called me the other day, I was thinking about a kid. He's sitting on his couch. You think about a coach visit, and they come sit in the living room. We're going to pay you $2 million to come play at the university. and then he leaves, and the kid's going, $2 million? And then the NCAA comes in, NAACP comes in and says, you are oppressed. You don't need to play football. He's like, the hell with that.
I need to tell you, the AJ, to play this in for you. He can't play he got to play the radio version for it, because you can't play the street version. Tell him, AJ, your mind playing tricks on you, the ghetto boy. You need to play that for Lee. Your mind playing tricks on you. It's a dirty record, but they got a radio version.
I know that. I know what you're talking about.
Your mind. Hey, Leland. My children going to get that cheese. Forget the NAACP. Forget them all.
Better get that cheddar. They better get that cheddar. All right,
Daryl. All right, Leland. I'm going to let you go, man. I love you, man.
Love you, brother. All right, Daryl. Daryl always brings it loose, man, but he's making some sense. I mean, look, common sense I think we're having a comeback of common sense in a lot of places, despite the old, worn-out, tired tactics to keep us divided all over this country. I'd love to see it, man. Maybe I'm just being a little too optimistic on this Tuesday. Alabama Bass bringing you the show tonight. That's Mike and Jill and Sandra. And look, let me start naming everybody. John and Dewey and that whole shop Listen, 40 plus years in business, best in the business as far as bath projects. And their product, if you get them to come in and replace that old janky, worn out, ridiculously slippery, scary tub shower system you have with one of their systems that's up to date, modern, slip proof, beautiful, easy to get in and out of, changes your life or your mama or somebody in your family that needs this accommodation at this season of life. They're not going to pressure you. They're going to give you a better price than the corporate people that will pressure you. They'll honor that price for a long time unless their costs go up. They'll give you that, and you can just decide when you're ready. They'll be ready, and when you're ready, it's a 2-day project. They're in, they're out, 2 days, they're done. It's just the greatest group of people. If you're a veteran, we've been emphasizing this a lot lately because John reminded me he's a veteran, so he gets it. There are programs in the VA that may very well pay for this upgrade to your home. You deserve it. If you're at a stage of life where you need this done in your home and the VA will pay for it, Alabama Baths will take their time and wait on all those approvals. When you're dealing with the government, it can take a while. Unless you're from Somalia, they'll just give you a check for your Leering Center. But if you're a veteran and you fought for the country, you got to fill out forms and wait, call somebody and wait, go downtown and wait. But when you're done with all that, Alabama Baths will come do the project for you. How about that? AlabamaBaths.com, AlabamaBaths.com. It's 525, Leland Live, Ox Foundation Solutions. Next up here on the show, I just, man, if you, with all this rain and the flooding, we finally got some days to dry out. It's a good time to look around and see if you got any kind of moisture coming in. If you don't want to crawl under there, get Ox to come do it for you. This is when all that stuff gets exposed. It's kind of like a roof leak. It's when there's kind of pressure on your system. If there have been some cracks and shifts over time, this kind of, when the water table gets up like this after a drought period, it starts to show up, and it can wreak havoc. It can do so much damage, not only to the leveling of your house, but to electrical systems. Even the shift itself can cause trouble all the way up into the plumbing in the attic. And then there's mold. If you wind up with moisture underneath your house and that turns into mold spores in the air and in the walls, such a nightmare. And you can't, this is not one of those things you can do yourself. It has to be done by the highly trained experts, especially at oxstrong.com. oxstrong.com. They do all of the home services as it relates to this stuff. The house leveling, the crack repair. You got cinder block wall cracks that just, maybe they're fine, but they're just kind of ugly. They'll fix that for you too. And everything in between, all the way to removing the mold, especially when we get into the humidity. That's like putting gas on a fire. And then, of course, encapsulation. That's the big final step to keep that stuff from coming back. Oxstrong.com, oxstrong.com. Back to a little bit of politics and some numbers this afternoon. This is fascinating. There's something called the generic ballot test. That's what the nerds call it when you're inside the campaign business. It's really just comparing the two brands, Democrats or Republicans. The question has been asked for decades in polling by different pollsters. There's right track, wrong track. Do you think the country's on the right track or the wrong track? And who do you trust more to handle the issues of the country? That's not exactly how they put it. They'll even do it on the economic issues, education issues, war issues, anything that's single issue stuff. So I give you that little description to say, in the generic ballot test between Democrats and Republicans, Democrats always have a general advantage in the polling. It's somewhat because of the way the pollsters do it, and somewhat just because of the brand loyalty to the Democrat Party. Republicans, by nature, tend to be a curmudgeon bunch, and they're not always as brand oriented. But here's the news. The last time there was a 2018 midterm, when Trump was president last time, the Democrats had an 8-point edge over the Republicans, right? Not unusual. Republicans can still be competitive if they can keep the race within 5 points. If the Democrats only have a 5-point edge, Republicans have a shot at winning. A couple of weeks ago, that had come to even. The Democrats and Republicans were tied. That is huge, alarming news for the Democrat brand, that they would even be tied with the Republicans. They need this little edge that they get in the generic test. Now there's a new one out this afternoon that shows the Republicans are up by 5 over the Democrats in the midterms. That is that's a 13-point swing from the 2018 midterms in the direction of the Republicans. That doesn't really predict anything, but it gives you a climate that we're operating in for the midterms that are coming up. It tells you kind of how the ground will be fertilized ahead of the individual campaigns having to run their own races and win the races. The number of swing districts has gone up from 10 to 18, and some of those increased numbers have gone away from the Democrats. They've gone from lean Democrats to toss-ups. That's the direction you want to be in at this stage. Y'all, this is why we're in the middle of a war and fuel prices are up, because other things are starting to happen in the right directions, and the Democrats have lost their damn minds. It's 5:35, Leland Live. Let's keep on trucking. We got Thomas over here on the hotline. We check in with him almost every single day about this time. Been doing it for years. Thomas, what's happening over there, man? We got a new Fed chairman. There's all this housing activity. What are y'all seeing?
Man, we are seeing great things, man. I think we're going to start seeing some movement in some rates here in the next coming weeks. I mean, it's right now it's helping some home prices, and it's helping some movement in the market. Which I know I was on the way to dinner last night, and thank you so much for your kind words last night. It was my anniversary last night, and 30 years, man. Can you believe you got somebody out there? 30 years. Somebody out there that would put up with me for 30 years.
That's outstanding. Yeah.
Anyway, but I appreciate the kind words, and you handled it last night. But yeah, we are seeing lots of movement in the market with home sales. Man, it is the market is really hot right now, which is fantastic. And I think throughout the summer and down in the fall, we're going to continue to see movement in rates and in the market, which is exciting for everybody in the real estate industry. It's great for us, but I think Powell had, in my opinion, it almost overstayed his welcome for me.
No doubt.
And I know Trump feels the same way. He had been wanting him to leave for quite a while. Because I think the new Fed chairman is probably going to be a little more aggressive than Powell. At least that's what Trump is hoping, and that's what all of us are hoping to get a little more movement on the rates downward. So that's the anticipated direction, and we'll see. So that's what I'm hoping. And but man, we're seeing lots of great things out here. Man, we're helping lots of people. Just closed up on a new barndominium for a couple. And I know we've talked about that a bunch of, quite a few times here. And I know you've got some partners, some other partner steel companies that I heard you talking about yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That we have talked to. And, man, we would love to partner with them. And we've been over there to talk to them and do some financing for them. But we just closed up with a new build for a couple, a local couple that built a beautiful new home, a new barndominium. And, we can help people. If you're looking to build a new home or buy a new home, we can help. But we have helped a great new couple build a new dream home, barndominium on their land. And, man, we would love to help you guys do that too. So give us a call today, 205-859-8859, or savewithstockton.com.
Thomas, when is the next board vote, the next Fed board meeting or vote? I don't even know when that is. I know I could look it up, but
I'm trying. Actually, right now, man, I don't even know. I think
you got a lot going on.
I got a lot going on. I'm trying to remember.
I'll give you a pop quiz. I get it.
I'm trying to remember what the date is right now. I think it's toward the end of this Thursday, toward the end of this month.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got the other number right.
I'll tell you today. Yeah.
You got the important number right, and that's 30 years. Right. Congratulations to the two of y'all. And
right.
Wish you the best, man.
Man, I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. There's Thomas tonight checking in with us with his thing. Here's another we'll take some more phone calls, but I got to get some more of these stories that are just developing this afternoon. Here's another scandal of people ripping off the government, ripping off Medicaid. You remember how much, especially the bedwetters here in Alabama, kept trying to push the state of Alabama to get on, to do more and more and get further locked into Medicaid. And part of me says, look, it's this toxic empathy toward poverty programs. And I really do understand the premise. The functional reality is it obligates the state to things our own state can't afford. Medicaid itself and its reimbursement rules and its bureaucracy are breaking rural hospitals. It would not be some kind of grace-saving program for poor people in the state because it's just like every other federal program, it's dysfunctional. But there's a cynical part of me that wonders if they don't also understand that the more of these programs we get locked into, the more room there is for people to steal the freaking money. This story comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina. This guy was a self-proclaimed homeless advocate. Does that sound familiar? Does this sound like Minnesota? Remember how they were going to treat autism? We found billions that were stolen from people that set up fake autism, fake medical transports, fake hospice care, fake Leering centers. And a lot of it goes back to funding that comes through the Medicaid, Medicare services portion of the federal budget. It's a part of the budget that's sinking us in addition to the national debt. And I believe some overspending on the defense issues. The reason we get here, the backstory is, before we get to our friend that built the money out of Charlotte and the feds, when the deals are cut in Congress and they do an omnibus bill, whenever you hear the word omnibus, just picture an actual bus running over you. So an omnibus bill just means they put everything in it. We should be budgeting the federal government in 12 subject areas so that there's time to slow the process down and see what's going on. When they cram it all in there and put a fake deadline on it and say they got to get it passed or there's a government shutdown, behind the scenes, they're all trading votes. And so for the Republicans to pay off their buddies in the defense industry in particular, and sometimes in pharmaceuticals and other big business, the Democrats want something. And same thing for the Democrats to get what they want for their buddies back in Charlotte or Minneapolis. They got to vote for the budget, the defense spending. So they both go up. There's no cost cutting. When they horse trade, they don't trade who cuts who. In other words, what I'd love them to do is like, all right, I want 5 million cuts. I want $5 billion out of your poverty programs. And the left will go, well, fine, then you got to take $5 billion out of defense. They don't ever do that. There's no sexiness in those headlines. You can't build friends by cutting funding. The only power they have in Congress is to spend money. So they don't cut anything. And that's why we're broke. That's why the country is going broke. It's the two parties colluding to do it to us, and they go back home and pay off their buddies. So the Democrat side of that equation are these bloated, unnecessary, overly burdensome, expensive medical programs that have a very nice, empathetic title to them. This is supposed to be for homeless. Well, our buddy in Charlotte just got caught using the money. He calls himself a homeless advocate, and he exploited the Medicaid numbers and fudged his numbers and got away with, I think it's $9 million himself. How much money did you make this year? They doubled that, because you actually made double that. The government took half of it. And what you got left, you got to live on. And then this dude gets $9 million from the half that you paid to the government to just be an American and to do the right thing. This dude used the money to buy a massive house for himself that he nicknamed on his own. He nicknamed Thug Mansion. This is what he used homeless Medicaid money. This is Charlotte, North Carolina. His name is Cedric Dean. All it took for him, according to this post, to bill Medicaid with a state license requiring just 80 hours of training, despite the fact, don't wreck the car. I'm trying to give you the rest of the story. I'm Paul Harvey now. Don't wreck the car. I'm just warning you. 10 and 2. Put your seatbelt on. Eyes front. This dude's a convicted felon. So this dude's a convicted felon. He goes and gets 80 hours of training to get a state license, immediately applies for the money, steals it from Medicaid, probably faking the people that he's helping, and goes buys, makes himself a Thug Mansion. Federal agents say his recruiters found people on the street. They'd go out to encampments and halfway houses and paid them to get their Medicaid ID numbers. Didn't do a damn thing for it. They just give them some money. So they need your ID number. Sign this form. I'll give you $500. They go sign them up like they're providing services to these people. They billed Medicaid for therapy, crisis care. None of it happened. And authorities say he billed Medicaid 54 times for some of these services for one man who is, don't wreck the car now. Don't wreck the car. He billed Medicaid 54 times for a man who was already dead. They say he billed 894% more than any other provider in the entire state, and nobody caught it because nobody's looking. It's North Carolina. They've gone blue over there. He was making $10,000 a week at one point. He bought a huge home. Again, he called it Thug Mansion. It was $1 million house, luxury cars, jewelry. I don't know what an RVS is, but he bought an RVS. This stuff is all over the country, and we pay for it. And don't sit there. If you're a Democrat and you're watching these scandals out in California, they're sick of hearing about it, so they want to pass a law so you can't even investigate it. It reminded me of that situation in the UK today where everybody's pissed off because the cop, instead of taking care of the wounded guy, they were afraid to hurt the feelings of the guy that stabbed him. In California, if you hurt somebody's feelings by investigating them and they feel put upon, you have committed a crime. They can sue you under this law they want to pass. They're calling it the Nick Shirley Act because this little kid is the one that started exposing this stuff, showing how ridiculous the fraud is. Man, when I was back in my day, we thought the welfare cheats were bad, where they'd sign up for some bennies or an EBT card and really didn't deserve it because their fat asses were all obese, but they claimed to be starving and broke, so they get free money. That's some Sunday school stuff compared to this dude. Man, it's foreigners getting it, Americans getting it, everybody's ripping off everybody. It's just amazing. To me, it's kind of funny, but it's not funny. This is why the government's broke. Again, I went through the whole exercise of how they trade votes and look the other ways. As long as everybody's getting their people taken care of and they can keep themselves in power and keep getting reelected, there's no policing at all until this guy gets caught. There's been a season of it. Y'all, I'm warning you, Trump's only in office about 2.5 years. Busting this stuff is over when he leaves. I don't think it'll happen after that. I don't care who wins, Democrat or Republican. They'll go back to scratching each other's backs and looking the other way over this stuff. Good Lord. Poor old homeless guy's still out there freezing his ass off somewhere in Asheville on the streets, but his name was used so this guy could go live over in Thug Mansion. Lanius Furniture Company. I bet he could outfit his whole place at Lanius. I guarantee he could. I know I did. My Thug Mansion is full of Lanius Furniture Company. The difference is I paid for mine myself. Lanius, both the furniture and the house. Man, John and Reggie and those guys, let's be serious for a minute. They've just got one heck of a furniture store. Even if you're just looking for some odds and ends or some rugs or some art or whatever, they've got all that stuff too. Whole living room groups. You can design your own furniture. Yep. You can design your own furniture there. I did. I needed stuff that was a little bit oversized. I don't mean stuffed. I mean just the proportions were bigger. All of my sons are 6'5". I had these fantasies. They'd all come home to visit in the same weekend. They'd need room to sit. They haven't really done that but once. But still, there's hope that they all come home, see Dad, and I need room. So I designed the furniture to make everybody comfortable. And it's incredible. I love taking a couch nap on those couches I designed. And John had the resources to go to the industry and get it done exactly like I needed it. Same thing with the dining room table. He had a gorgeous table, but it needed to be about 2 feet longer. Well, he just got it done for me. Then they brought it to the house. I'll never forget when it finally showed up. I lived for about, 4 or 5 weeks without furniture because I was waiting on my stuff. And then when they showed up, I was so excited. Kind of pulled it all together with the help of Lanius Furniture Company. You can do the same thing. They're in Kimberly, Alabama, off exit 280, right off I-65. Deals all over the place, inside the house, outside the house, and every room in the house. With the best people in the furniture business, it's LaniusFurnitureCompany.com. LaniusFurnitureCompany.com. 552 Leland Love, talking to N5, Birmingham Broker, bhambroker.com. They're downtown Birmingham. Here's what they do. They broker vehicles for us, for people like us who from time to time need to trade. It really does suck when you go to trade one in at a dealer and you know they're just going to give you the wholesale price. Some of us go into it knowing, man, they're just going to lowball me. But you do it anyway because you just need to be done with the old one. It's fun to buy a new car. But you can do it a better way. You can sell yours with Birmingham Broker. They'll handle it, do all the work. Craig and Keith know what it's worth and where it's worth what it's worth. Because sometimes it may not be around Birmingham. They may have buyers for your particular vehicle in their network anywhere in the country. So they'll handle all that stuff on the front end. They can do, get all the prep work done, all the, not major body repair, but sometimes cosmetic stuff and just getting it all cleaned up, shined up, and ready for the market. And then they'll handle everything, finding the buyer, haggling, transacting it, doing the paperwork, all that stuff that I personally hate doing. They do it for a living, and you make more money on the deal that way, a lot more money, even than trying to do it yourself. It's Beham Broker, bhambroker.com. They're downtown on 4th Avenue. Give them a call, let them know you're coming, or I think you can just pop in the shop. A lot of times you roll right into the building. They'll take a look at your ride and tell you what they can do for you. And you'll never, if you're like me, and most of you will be, you'll never trade a different way again. This is the easy way to do it. It's sort of an easy button for car trading. And plus, you're dealing with two super nice guys that'll be like friends by the time you're done. BehamBroker.com, BehamBroker.com. All right, I was trolling around to see if there's any news coming out of California on the various races that have become major entertainment here in the country. Not really anything. You've got those prediction markets, those betting markets that are out there this afternoon, most of which are predicting Karen Bass is going to be the leader in the first round, but in all likelihood, it's going to run into a runoff scenario. So you're looking at the two top finishers, and Pratt seems to be this kid. I call him a kid. I have no idea how old he is. He seems to be surging on a pace that he was at the whole last 2 weeks. It'll be fun to find out tonight. We'll be watching for that too. Again, don't forget, if you're not going to be around for the polls 2 weeks from now in Alabama, candidates are all making their last big pushes, and you're going to have to vote absentee. There's some deadlines for requesting a ballot if you're going to do it by mail. Now, you can drop by generally some courthouse locations around Alabama and do this stuff ahead of time. But otherwise, you can just request a ballot in the mail. They send you a little form to fill out. You get your ballot in the mail, then you got to send all this stuff back. They'll walk you through it, but you got to hit all the deadlines. I believe the last deadline is maybe the 11th to get your ballot resubmitted. But check online and get that done, and don't skip just because you're going to be traveling, because I had to do the same thing. It's a little bit cumbersome. The last time I voted absentee, and I've talked about it a few times lately, I just went straight to the courthouse, did it right there on site. They were my witnesses, and it was done. And I liked that process, and I did not mind doing it that way. But sometimes it does come up, and that's why we have this system. And there we go with that. Let me make sure I've got everything in here for tonight. Just kind of backtracking over some stuff we've been talking about. It seems like I had something during the break. AJ, when we were coming back from the break, AJ always tells me when he flips the mic on when I'm on location. Yeah, I am, because you're doing what I was just doing. It's like we're getting old together. AJ and I are getting old together, man. And he's definitely seeing me age ahead of him. But he usually says in my ear to let me know the mic's on. Right. Mike is hot.
Yeah.
And just now you said, AJ said, Mike is here.
I was like, whoa.
And I was like, that sounds like me, man. You're turning into me. That's the kind of stupid stuff I say. I forget where I am about 3 times a day. I just forget where I am.
And I don't even know how I even said it. It was just like I was in my mind, I was like, Mike is hot. And I just said, Mike is here. And I think because what it is that I was looking outside and I saw Will pull up. And I was like, oh, he's here. So,
and you were thinking, Will's here. And by the way, when he says Mike is hot, that's not a homosexual reference. He means microphone.
Yeah. Let's just let him know, hey, watch what you say.
Every mic's a hot mic. We all know that.
Exactly.
We know that in this business, even though we have done dumb things in the past. Man, what a Tuesday. I'm starting to get hoarse, man. We're toward the end of the show. After 4 hours, I start to lose a little gas. But, hey, let's go recover, and we'll come back tomorrow and see what happens out in California. There should be plenty to talk about tomorrow afternoon. Still waiting on a court ruling from the Supreme Court in our districting case. Lots of news still to come this week. Who knows about Trump and Iran? I've gotten bored with it. There's a deal. There's no deal. We're shooting. We're not shooting. I'm bored. Let's just get it over with. Distinctive Pools bringing you the show tonight. One more time for them. I love talking about this company because I get excited thinking about people getting excited themselves over a pool project. It's such a big deal, but some people put it off because they're worried about the money, worried about what to do. You're not just going to be able to imagine it. Just let them come over and talk to you at Distinctive. Do your due diligence. They'll show you what's possible, what fits your budget, what'll look good on your house with a nice plan. Help you develop all that budget, help you get financing if you need it. Next thing you know, you're out there swimming. You're showing off. You better start working out. You're going to be showing off your bod at your new pool. Unless it's the grandkids, they don't care. Distinctive Pools, best in the business, decades of experience among that team. So if you want it done right, do it with Distinctive. You can see some beautiful designs on their websites at distinctivepools.com. All right, y'all, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Stay tuned for Breaking Bread coming up next. Goodbye, AJ.